This is Bryce, and as you know, this is Bryce Can Read. Today we're not going to be reading any book or poem or anything like that. Today we're actually just going to attempt to relax you with some extremely disturbing, rather unsettling, unfun facts. But that's okay. And let's not waste any time. After all, we do need you to get to sleep really quick here. So let us begin. Disneyland's famous Pirates of the Caribbean ride used real skeletons. The engineers from Disney took one look at the fake skeletons that were initially brought in and thought that they weren't creepy enough. This might be because prosthetics in the 1960s weren't as convincing as they are now. To offer a more authentic experience, Disney engineers enlisted the help of the University of California, Los Angeles' anatomy department for real skeletons. Gradually, they replaced these real skeletons with fake ones, but many believe that real skeletons remain in the attraction. Either way, this creepy fact about the Pirates of the Caribbean ride is fascinating as it is scary. Wes Craven's A Nightmare on Elm Street is based on a real story. Director Craven revealed that the inspiration for the iconic slasher film came from a story he read from the LA Times. A boy was having disturbing nightmares and refused to sleep for days out of fear. The same night he succumbed to exhaustion. He died in his sleep, but not before screaming for help in the middle of the night because of his nightmares. As many as 50 serial killers are on the loose in the United States. This number is according to the FBI. However, some, including homicide archivist Thomas Hargrove, speculate that around 3,000 to 4,000 serial killers remain active in the country. It'd be pretty unfortunate if your favorite YouTuber was a serial killer. It is common for children to hear voices. Apparently, parents don't have to freak out if their children can hear voices, as around 8% of children do, which is as common as having asthma or dyslexia. Hearing voices is definitely creepy, but at least it's perfectly normal. Every day, a person consumes around 1 to 2 cups of snot. More mucus travels into the trachea than it leaks out of the nose, so most of this ends up in the back of your throat. Alright. Your bed can have up to 10 million dust mites. Dust mites love warm beddings and dead skin cells. This makes your bed an ideal home for them. They are microscopic and multiply up to thousands or millions. You should probably wash your bed sheets. Speaking of bed sheets, a person sweats around 1 cup per day. That means your bed sheets absorb around 26 gallons of sweat every year. Isla de las Muñecas, or Island of the Dolls, is one of the most haunted places in the world, not far off from Russ Myers, beyond the Valley of the Dolls, which I highly recommend as a film you watch. It's kind of like that film, The Rocky Horror Picture Show, but if it was good, and if it was interesting. So yes, beyond the Valley of the Dolls. But back to the Island of the Dolls. This small island south of Mexico City is a frightening place. Perched and nailed onto the island's trees are little dolls that are said to be housed by the spirit of a little girl. According to the legend, the island's caretaker found a girl who drowned in a mysterious circumstance. The caretaker discovered a doll floating in the water, which he hung on a tree to appease the drowned girl's spirit. However, the show of respect did not work, and the drowned girl's spirit continued to haunt the caretaker, causing him to hang more and more dolls in order to temper her anger. Sometimes, tourists even say they can see the dolls move in their heads and whisper among each other. These Zoroastrians leave their dead in special towers to be eaten by the vultures. Kind of like in our past Bloodborne video, one of the hunters is Hunter Eileen, and she would bury people with these sky burials, which are like real things where you would just leave the dead body out, in a field or on a cairn or something, and birds would just come down and peck at you and, take a bit of you here, a bit of you there, and fly off. The idea being that your death facilitates one, the feeding of all these creatures, but that also your energy is spread across the land. That's a fun fact from M. Price. There you go. Anyway, the Zoroastrians. While some may find it creepy, it is simply a tradition for Zoroastrians. Their funerary practice involves leaving the dead on top of towers called the dogma. Zoroastrians believe that the earth, water, air, and fire, maybe they're like avatar benders or something, are all sacred, and thus burying or cremating the dead would spread impurities to these elements. Leaving their dead exposed to the elements might horrify some, but it is a sign of respect for their followers. Alright. Oh god, how do I not? Oh. Did I get my... Oh god, oh god. Drinking is dangerous. Aztec priests believed that the tears of children could stop droughts. Aztec followers believed in the power of human sacrifice, and many of their rituals included sacrificing women and children to serve the sun god. Huitzilopochtli, something, their sun god. When they experienced drought, Aztec priests sacrificed children because they believed their tears could call on the rain. Alright. The Devil's Bible exists, and it's a contract between a monk and Satan. Also known as the Codex Gigas, the Devil's Bible is the largest Latin manuscript known into the world. It contains a full-page portrait of Satan. People believe that Oh god. Oh god. What the? Oh no. Oh no. Oh god, what's happening to me? Oh god. Never mind, forget about the Satan Bible. I'm sorry I brought it up. I'm sorry I brought it up. Oh god, skip, skip, skip. Here we go. People used hollowed human skulls as bowls and cups back in ancient England. Another creepy fact that dates back to ancient England is that cave settlers fashioned cups out of human skulls. They hollowed the skulls and removed them the surrounding tissue so they could use it as a drinking vessel. Then, adding on to that, ancient Romans believed that drinking blood would let them absorb power. Blood transfusion was a popular practice in ancient Rome. During gladiator games at the Colosseum, members of the audience would rush into the field to ravage the blood off of fallen gladiators. They believed that in drinking the blood of fallen warriors, they too would absorb the warriors' powers and skills. People buried alive accidentally occurred so often that people invented safety coffins. Doctors often misdiagnosed ill patients, and this was common in 17th century England. Alice Blunden is an example. A doctor mistakenly pronounced her dead after she drank sedatives, and she was accidentally buried alive. The horrifying ordeal didn't just happen once, but twice. After exhuming her and finding her near death, they buried her once more, only for her to struggle in the casket, still alive, until she eventually succumbed to death. Well, how would they know, though, she was buried? Weird. I'm sure half of you will really enjoy this. Your coffee mug probably has fecal matter in it. Scientists have discovered that 90% of coffee mugs are covered in germs. The culprit, shared kitchen sponges. They cause 20% of these coffee mugs to test positive for E. coli. It's usually found in office spaces and the office kitchens. Alright. I work in a kitchen myself, so that's really cool. Museo delle Anime del Purgatorio displays documents signed by haunted souls in Purgatory. The Museum of Souls of Purgatory is a small museum in Rome, Italy. Their collection displays several documents and photos with handprints that they claim to be from the dead or souls stuck in Purgatory. The most haunted island in the world is in Poveglia, Italy. In the 18th century, the Romans quarantined patients with the plague on Poveglia Island. Those inflicted with the plague, along with other diseased individuals, were left to die on this island. They later turned this area into a mental hospital, which closed in 1968. That's very nice. 18th century doctors believed that bloodletting was necessary to balance one's health. In the 1800s, doctors would cut through a patient's vein to drain them of a certain amount of blood. They believed humans could accumulate too much blood and therefore had to let the extra out for good health. King Charles II drank alcohol mixed with pulverized human skulls. They called this drink the King's Drops, and they incorporated it into his diet in the belief that it promoted good health. It also says that King Charles II was the uncle of William of Orange. He married his niece to the prince, and historians say that he watched over the two during their wedding night. Okay. Whatever. Emperor Nero profited off of human urine. Why are these all like Roman or English facts? Emperor Nero imposed a urine tax, charging merchants who sold pee. That is because human urine was a valuable and useful product back in ancient Rome. For what? Would they have weird, oh god, I'm gonna sneeze and I can't do it with this nose on. Oh god, oh jeez. But yeah, what did they have? Whatever, do they have like weird fetish OnlyFans crap back then? They're like, hey Roman soldier, take off your fancy armor. Never mind, just forget it. I'd say I'm gonna edit this out, but let's be real, I won't. Let's see here. During mummification, ancient Egyptians removed the brains from one of the nostrils. It's a process called excerebration. They would insert an iron hook through the corpse's nostril to draw out parts of the brain that they would then place in a jar. More than 150 corpses occupy Mount Everest. One of the most horrifying facts about Mount Everest is that the bodies of over 150 dead hikers remain on the mountain, buried under deep snow. People say a haunted radio station from Russia exists. UVB-76 broadcasts white static noises and occasionally picks up Russian transmissions. But nobody knows where this low-frequency radio station broadcasts from. It gets even creepier when you find out that it has been broadcasting since 1982. Alright. To this date, scientists have only been able to account for less than 10% of the ocean. The ocean comprises over 70% of the Earth's surface, and with only less than 10% of that accounted for, plenty believe the ocean to be home to some of the creepiest and most frightening creatures alive. Today's technology continues to advance, but the deep levels of the ocean still make it difficult to explore further. What's clear is that so far, the unknown continues to scare plenty of us. Alright. Just checking some other. I don't wanna give you guys basic facts. Just want to give you cool facts. Oh god, here we go. It's a cool fact. Your house pet will probably want to eat your dead body. Dog City, dude. There have been many cases of domesticated dogs and cats eating their dead owners. Scientists hypothesize pets will lick and nip at their owner's face for comfort out of the distress of seeing them unconscious or hurt. Eventually they draw blood, and instincts take over from there. Jesus. Mike the headless chicken was alive for 18 months after being decapitated. Farmer Lloyd Olson meant to eat Mike for dinner with his wife, but the swing of his axe wasn't perfect. He missed the chicken's jugular vein and most of the brainstem. Even without a head, Mike was alive, and he wobbled and crowed in his tour of fame. Okay. Pigs can eat anything, and that includes humans. One creepy fact that most people don't know about pigs is that there have been many records of farmers dying from being eaten by pigs. I mean, as Danny DeVito would say, have you ever seen a pig eat a man? As a matter of fact, I've seen many pigs eat many men. It was a bloodbath. Apparently that's true. Fatal familial insomnia makes it impossible for someone to sleep for months. You can inherit a rare genetic disease called fatal familial insomnia, which makes it impossible for someone to fall or stay asleep for long. Because this can last for months, and insomnia leads to an individual to feel so exhausted that they suffer from high blood pressure, weight loss, and severe exhaustion until one succumbs to death. Here's one that hits a little close to home. Medical errors cause around 250,000 deaths every year. One sad and horrifying fact is that medical errors are the third leading cause of death in the United States. An incorrect diagnosis, delays in therapy, and mismanagement of a condition are all medical errors that have cost lives. However, what might be most horrifying about this is that these are all seen as preventable deaths. Are you guys asleep now? Do you feel relaxed yet? I certainly do. Locked-in syndrome is a scary condition where you are conscious while in a coma. Being unable to speak, like myself, is one thing, but suddenly being unable to speak, oh my god, jeez. This shtick with my little fake thing has to stop. I keep getting oh god, my hair and oh god, scary. I think this is just all gonna, disintegrate by the time this video is done. This is like my 10th video with these things on. I need to find a new gimmick. Anyway, being unable to speak, like I still can't, is one thing, but suddenly being unable to speak and move is downright terrifying. This happens if you contract locked-in syndrome or pseudocoma. A patient with locked-in syndrome is locked in a coma-like state while they are conscious. Their body is completely paralyzed. In this state, they can only move their eyes. It's basically the opposite of sleep paralysis, okay? Some trees can grow inside your lungs. In Russia, doctors performed surgery on a man called Artoyam Sidorkin, suspecting that he had a cancerous tumor in his lungs. Instead of a tumor, they found a 5-centimeter fir tree branch in his lung. Doctors believe that Sidorkin accidentally swallowed a fir bud which later grew into a branch. A familiar case happened in Massachusetts when Ron Sevenden suffered from a collapsed lung. After his family rushed Sevenden to the hospital, his doctors found a growing pea plant in his lung. Some might find this creepy or even fascinating, but Sevenden found it funny as he munched on peas during his first meal after the surgery. The sleepwalking defense has been used in order to have defendants acquitted for murder. You can kill someone even when you aren't completely conscious. Since the 1800s, lawyers have used the sleepwalking defense because they believe their clients committed the immoral act while asleep or in a dreamlike state. Corpses recovered from bodies of water decay faster. There's no shortage of creepy facts about death, but what people might not know is that a previously submerged corpse's post-mortem changes occur much faster. However, if a corpse stays underwater, then the body's decay is much slower. This is because water temperature and other substances in the water can affect post-mortem. Two Scottish doctors originally invented the chainsaw for childbirth. In 1780, John Aitken and James Jeffrey invented the first chainsaw prototype called osteotome. They used the osteotome to cut through the mother's pelvis when a cesarean was no longer possible. It is certainly gruesome to think that of large chainsaws we know today as a tool for cutting open wombs, but the first prototype was much smaller. The pain, however, was still horrifying. What even? Teratoma, or monstrous tumors, are evil twins that grow on your brain. Yamini Karanam was 26 years old when doctors found a tumor on her brain. During the surgery, the doctor discovered that her brain tumor had bone, hair, and teeth. These monstrous tumors are underdeveloped twins who didn't survive in the womb and thus latched onto the surviving baby. Even after decapitation, human heads stay conscious for a while. For around 20 seconds, the human head remains conscious, but what the human head thinks about in its last moments is unknown. What would you think about? There goes my head. Prosopagnosia is the inability to recognize faces. Actually, isn't that Brad Pitt have that or something? Those with prosopagnosia will see family members as strangers. They might even be unable to recognize their own face. 1 in 50 people in the United States has an unruptured brain aneurysm. That's around 6.5 million people with brain aneurysms that can rupture at any moment. Another horrifying fact about brain aneurysms is that it is fatal in 50% of cases, with 15% of deaths occurring before the victim even reaches the hospital. Postpartum psychosis can happen overnight. Although postpartum psychosis only occurs in around 0.01 to 0.02% of deliveries, this horrifying illness manifests within the first 2 weeks of motherhood. This means that a mother might feel the desire to kill their newborn as soon as they wake up from delivery. And the last fact from this website, which has a funny acronym, I suppose: people can die with no discernible cause of death. Sudden arrhythmic death syndrome, or SADS, occurs when a person suddenly dies after a cardiac arrest with no discernible cause of death. It usually happens during sleep. Okay, very nice. Wow, I pulled up like 6 websites with facts, and we're like 20 minutes in. I've only got through one. I'm not doing this for 2 hours though. So, your brain can eat itself during sleep deprivation. That's it, I think. A lot of this is just like weird, trying to be edgy text, I guess. Dead bodies can still move. Some snakes can eat their own tails. Oh god, oh no. The world's largest spider is the size of a dinner plate. That is not okay. Oh god. There's a place called the Door to Hell. In Turkmenistan, there is a natural gas field called the Darvaza gas crater that has been burning continuously since 1971. It was set on fire to prevent the spread of methane gas, and the flames have been burning ever since, earning it the nickname the Door to Hell. I've actually heard this one before. I think this was on Mythbusters. Some plants can scream when in distress. Researchers have discovered that certain plants emit ultrasonic sounds when under stress, such as when they're thirsty or their leaves are cut. These sounds are too high-pitched for humans to hear, but they can be picked up by specialized equipment. The probability of dying on your birthday is higher than any other day. Did you know that there are 14% chances of you dying than there are? Oh, there's 14% more chance, I'm guessing is what they meant. It's called the birthday effect, and it might be because of this stuff like extra stress, drinking more, doing riskier things. Which, I mean, probably true. I kind of have a TMI story I'd like to share, but I probably shouldn't. Buzzing in a bedroom was coming from inside the wall one day for a couple in Spain. It kept them up at night, so they decided to hire an expert who found 80,000 bees hidden beneath or hidden inside the bedroom wall. Oh god. 15th century Spain deployed 250-pound war mastiffs. These were especially effective against enemies with little or no armor. Their powerful jaws easily tore through leather, then flesh, then bone. When Columbus made his second voyage to the New World and anticipated trouble, he packed some dogs, who were classified as weapons. You know, they probably were the first dogs who found a dog city, as a matter of fact. What else do we have here? We got some repeats, actually, it looks like. There's a type of predatory fish that can walk on land. These creatures, called snake-headed fish, can walk up out of the water and right into our nightmares. They have both gills and an organ located in their gill arches that permits them to breathe oxygen. They sometimes come up on land in search of food and can flop on their fins for up to a quarter of a mile. They've been found everywhere from California to New England to Florida, where they can be as big as 14 pounds. They're considered an invasive species in North America. Okay. Oh god, peanut butter can contain rat hairs. The FDA actually allows up to 1 rat hair in every 100 grams of peanut butter before it's considered defective. 100 grams is equal to a little under a quarter of a pound. The reason bits of rats can be in your jar of peanut butter is because it's hard to spot and remove them during the difficult, unglamorous process of peanut harvesting. While such a small amount of this is unwelcome ingredient isn't harmful to you, okay, these are just kind of flavored weird with little, edgy text. I just want the pure facts. Onlyfacts.com. In 7 hours, an elephant produces enough poop to outweigh an adult human. That's not scary, that's entertaining, I think. What do we got? The Romans, let's just go for a speed section right here. The Romans used crushed mouse brains as toothpaste. When Eskimo babies have colds, their mothers suck the snot out of their nose. FDA regulations allow 10 insects and 35 fruit fly eggs per 8 ounces of raisins. Butterflies have been known to drink blood. Your desk, kitchen sink, grocery cart, cell phone, restaurant menu, and ATM will have more bacteria than your toilet bowl. 16% of cell phones have poop on them. 20% of office coffee mugs contain fecal matter. A lot of poop involved. Koalas actually eat their mom's poop. What's with all these poop facts? Tired of poop? Too bad. Depending on the brand of toilet paper you use to wipe, the fecal matter can travel up to 10 layers. Oh god. I'm not sure I like these speed facts. The chance of you dying on the way to get to your lottery tickets is actually greater than your chances of winning the lottery. Okay, nice. More than 40,000 parasites and 250 types of bacteria can be exchanged in one kiss. Most of what we know about the stages of hypothermia came to us from Nazi human experiments. Male chicks are often tossed into a grinder as babies because roosters aren't as tasty as hens. approximately 200 or 2,500 left-handed people die every year as a result of using equipment designed for right-handed people. What equipment? What, like what? Like, oh man, this is a right-handed violin. Let me use a left-handed violin and stab myself in the throat. Ice machines in restaurants are not usually cleaned. I can confirm that. They even have a part called a slime garden. If you saw it on a bad day, you would never get ice again. I can also confirm that. During World War II, an American plane crashed on a Japanese island. There were 9 men on board. 8 of them were captured and eaten. The one who rescued was George H.W. Bush. Okay, interesting. The average mattress doubles in weight over the course of 10 years due to accumulations of dust mites and dust mite poop. Oh my god, if a male lion takes over a pride, he executes all of the cubs. Simba, come on. There are more vacant houses than homeless people in the United States. Makes sense. Oh, America. 15% of air you breathe in an average metro station is human skin. Also, sounds like America. The dead outnumber the living on Earth. The average person walks past 36 murderers in their lifetime. Based on statistics in the average lifespan, it is estimated that we unknowingly walk around past 36 murderers. Okay. A devil's chair exists in many cemeteries. There are stone chairs called devil's chairs. They are often used by mourners to sit and grieve, but legends and superstitions have given them a sinister reputation. They claim if you sit at one at midnight, the devil himself will appear. The dancing plague of 1518. In July 1518, a strange phenomenon occurred in Strasbourg, France, where hundreds of people started dancing uncontrollably for days, resulting in exhaustion and even death. The cause of this bizarre dancing plague remains unknown, with theories ranging from mass hysteria to ergot poisoning. Reminds me of, if you guys have played that video game Elden Ring, there's that village, like in the north part of the map, I don't know the term or the name, where all the people are just dancing around the maypoles and stuff. Kind of reminds me of that. The mystery of Mary Celeste. In 1872, the Mary Celeste, an American merchant ship, was found abandoned and adrift in the Atlantic Ocean. The ship's crew, passengers, and a single lifeboat were missing, with no signs of violence or distress. The fate of those on board remained one of history's greatest maritime mysteries. That's actually really cool. Everyone vanished, and there's no sign of anything bad. That would make like a super good movie. Look at me being inspired here. I'm gonna look that up after this. The catacombs beneath Paris. I think everyone pretty much knows this, but there's this huge network of tunnels and rooms right under Paris, and it's packed with the bones of over 6 million people. They made these catacombs back in the 18th century because the city's graveyards were just too full. You can actually go to visit them today if you want a spooky look at what Paris looks like. The Stanley Hotel inspired Stephen King's The Shining. The Stanley Hotel in Colorado is said to be haunted. I've actually been there, with guests reporting strange noises, unexplained cold spots, and ghostly apparitions. After staying there, author Stephen King was inspired to write his famous novel, The Shining, which was later adapted into a popular horror film. The mysterious disappearance of the Roanoke colony. Back in 1590. Excuse me. Back in These people, really? Gosh. Back in 1590, there was this whole colony called Roanoke in what's now North Carolina. Everyone just up and disappeared without a trace. The only thing they left behind was the word Croatoan carved into a wooden post. No one knows what happened to them, and it's still one of history's biggest mysteries. Nice. The legend of the Jersey Devil. It's a legendary monster that's been lurking in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. People have different ideas about what it looks like, but mostly they say it has wings, walks on two legs, and has a head kind of like a horse. This spooky creature has been a part of local lore since way back in the 18th century, and people are still talking about it today. If you're in the Pine Barrens, keep a lookout for the Jersey Devil. The Voynich manuscript is a mysterious, undeciphered 15th century text filled with strange illustrations and written in an unknown language. Despite numerous attempts by cryptographers and linguists, the manuscript's purpose and meaning remain a mystery. Oh no! The Overtown Bridge dog suicides. In Scotland, the Overtown Bridge has gained a reputation as a place where dogs inexplicably jump to their deaths. Over 50 dogs have reportedly leaped from the bridge since the 1960s, leading some to believe that the area is haunted or cursed. No, not dogs. In 1906, the SS Valencia sank off the coast of Vancouver Island, killing over 100 passengers and crew. In the years following the disaster, numerous reports of ghostly sightings and phantom ships resembling the Valencia have been reported in the area. The Bunny Man is an urban legend from Virginia that tells of a man dressed in a rabbit costume who attacks people with an axe. The legend dates back to the 1970s and is said to be based on a series of real-life incidents involving a man in a rabbit costume. That's not okay. The mystery of the Flannan Isle Lighthouse Keepers. In 1900, the lighthouse keepers vanished without a trace from the Flannan Isles Lighthouse in Scotland. The man's disappearance remains unsolved, with theories ranging from a rogue wave to a more sinister explanation involving murder or kidnapping. The blood rain phenomenon. Sometimes, in really rare cases, rain can look red or pink because of tiny microorganisms or dust particles in the air. This gives it the appearance of a blood rain, and people have talked about it as a bad omen, or even a sign that someone up above is quite mad. Alright. A lot of these now are repeats. People must just get the same facts over and over again. The Rat King phenomenon is a rare occurrence in which a group of rats becomes entangled by their tails, usually due to sticky substances of tangled fur. The rats become trapped and are forced to live and move together as a single, horrifying entity. Rat gangs have been reported throughout history, with some specimens preserved in museums. The mysterious phenomenon of sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is a terrifying condition in which a person wakes up from sleep but is unable to move or speak, often accompanied by a feeling of pressure on the chest and the sensation of an evil presence in the room. The phenomenon has been linked to various cultural myths and legend, including encounters with demons and malevolent spirits. Yikes. Cotard syndrome, The Walking Dead. Never mind. The peculiar condition of synesthesia. Synesthesia is a neurological condition in which stimulation of one sensory or cognitive pathway leads to involuntary experiences in another pathway. For example, a person with synesthesia might see colors when they hear music or taste words when they read. This rare and poorly understood condition adds an eerie layer to the human experience. The enigmatic nature of déjà vu. Déjà vu is a strange and unexplained sensation of having already experienced a current situation or event. While theories suggest that it may be the result of a temporary glitch in the brain's memory processing or the result of a similar past experience, the exact cause of déjà vu remains a mystery. The unsettling capgras delusion. Capgras delusion is a rare psychiatric disorder in which a person believes that a close family or a family member or friend has been replaced by an identical imposter. The delusion can be profoundly disturbing for both the affected person and their loved ones, and is often associated with damage to the brain's ability to recognize faces and process emotions. Alice in Wonderland syndrome is a rare neurological condition that causes a person to perceive their body or surroundings as being distorted, either larger or smaller than they actually are. This condition can be disorienting and disturbing, giving the afflicted person a sense of being trapped in a surreal, dreamlike world. Phantom limb pain is a sensation of pain or discomfort in a limb that has been amputated. The exact cause of this phenomenon is not fully understood, but it is believed to be related to the brain's attempts to reorganize itself after the loss of a limb, or the completion of Metal Gear Solid 5, and your disappointment that Hideo Kojima will no longer ever be involved in another Metal Gear game, and that Konami has ruined a fantastic franchise forever. I'm the unsettling reality of sleepwalking. Sleepwalking, or somnambulism, is a sleep disorder that causes people to perform complex behaviors such as walking, eating, or even driving while they are still asleep. Sleepwalkers often have no memory of their actions and can unintentionally put themselves in dangerous situations. The bizarre case of Mary Toft. In 1726, a woman named Mary Toft in England claimed to have given birth to a litter of rabbits. Doctors were initially baffled by the case, but it was later revealed to be a hoax. Toft had inserted dead rabbit parts into her body to create the illusion of giving birth to rabbits. Okay, I don't like that one. The mysterious hum phenomenon. The hum is a low-frequency sound reported by people in various locations around the world. The source of the sound is often difficult to pinpoint, and it has been attributed to various industrial and natural sources. Some people are more sensitive to the hum, experiencing it as a persistent, maddening noise that disrupts their daily life. The zones of silence in Mexico. The Mapimi Silent Zone, or Zones of Silence, is a desert area in Mexico where radio signals, television signals, and other forms of communication seem to inexplicably fail. The cause of this phenomenon is still debated, with theories ranging from magnetic anomalies to extraterrestrial interference. We'll have one more here because this one actually pertains to Battle and Price. The peculiar occurrence of false awakenings. False awakenings are a phenomenon in which a person dreams that they have woken up but are still in fact asleep. These vivid and realistic dreams can be disorienting and unsettling, making it difficult for the person to distinguish between the dream and reality. I hope you can distinguish between your dreams and your reality, though, and realize that realize, and that this is not a real lie. This is M. Price, and this is M. Price Can Read. And today we've been